operation continues with interior work, and especially with those panels that cover the rear wheel wells and gas tank.
So this panel I think I'm gonna salvage. I'm gonna just paint it because it looks okay, but there's only one small problem here. This didn't hold the locking screws, so I'm gonna have to find a way to put it back there, but this is ripped already, so this is how it's supposed to be, but it goes through. That's why I made this, which will go like that. And now the screw cannot go inside anymore. I just have to pull it now. Now I just have to cut around here so it's nice and flat. And now I'm gonna paint it. Addition promoter, which is especially for vinyl and plastics and stuff like that. It's a primer for plastics. So I'm gonna spray it with that, and then I'm gonna spray it with this vinyl spray. I'm gonna let it dry. In the meantime, I'll see what I can do. What can I do about these guys here? Something like this. This is broken here and here, but it already has this nice shape, so I'm gonna try to do some minor repairs here and just reuse it because it's original part and it has nice shape, and then I'm gonna wrap it, of course.
This is the so-called white foam that we use under the vinyl when we wrap parts and panels that we want to keep nice and soft. So I use the same foam here. It's 1/8 of an inch thick, and the good thing about it is that it's sandable, so when there are uneven parts, with bumps and stuff like that on the panels, it's a good way to make them nice and smooth. I just wrap the whole thing in the white foam and then I sand the parts that are bumpy. In the meantime, the primer on the rear panel was already dry, so I sprayed it with the black vinyl spray. And I went back to wrapping the side panel in vinyl. And then I fit the side panels and the rear panel to make sure they look good, which they did. And next I had to play around with the door panels. One of them looked good because it was on the door when I bought the car, but the other one was in the trunk and it was all torn and warped, so I just decided to make new panels from Masonite and wrap them in new vinyl. So I used the old panel, the one that wasn't warped, as a template, and I marked on a piece of Masonite. I glued another piece of Masonite on top of it so I can cut both panels at the same time and save half of the work. And then I cut the external shape. And I drilled all the holes for the clips and the openings for the internal handle of the doors. Separated the two panels and got them ready for wrapping. For these panels I used regular foam, again 1/8 of an inch, but this one is much softer, and it was much easier to use the sewing machine and also to make the lines more three-dimensional. Again, I used the old vinyl as a template and marked where the lines and the openings should be. And then I sat on the sewing machine and stitched on top of the marked lines. I sprayed trim glue on the vinyl and the panel, and then I positioned the vinyl very carefully on the panels, so the marked openings on the vinyl match the openings on the panel. While the glue was still wet, I pressed down all the stitched lines, and because the foam underneath was so soft, they remained lower than the rest of the panel. Then I had to wrap the vinyl around the edge of the panel, but before that I got rid of the foam that was unneeded there. Otherwise it was gonna be too thick at the back and was gonna sit too far away from the door. I trimmed even the vinyl and I left just about an inch around there so it can be wrapped behind the panel, but not to be too much and to create wrinkles and high spots. And the panel was ready. Before I install it though, I had to wrap the top part of the door in new vinyl because the old one I couldn't salvage. While I was removing it, it got torn. So I wrapped it in new vinyl. I decided not to use foam underneath because I wanted this to be a little bit stiffer. I cleaned the excessive glue and I poked the holes that got covered by the vinyl. I installed the clips on the panel and then installed it on the door. Then I repeated the whole process for the passenger door. And this is what the interior looks like at the end of that day. The two glove boxes were in really bad condition, but according to me they were salvageable, so I decided to try and repair them. I used trim glue again, I patched them here and there. I re-glued the vinyl on the bottom rails. It was still good. Then I cleaned them and got them ready to be painted. And then I thought that it would be a good idea to use this white patch to sign my work. I almost forgot about this handle, but I saw it on the shelf, so I also cleaned it and sprayed it black. I hope this black spray is good enough and it's gonna hold for a long time, but we will see. And this is the final result with the glove boxes installed, all the gauges, and even seat belts and everything. So that's it for now, and I'm gonna see you when I post my next video.